Okay, guys, hi. I'm gonna be reacting to our AHM and RTY reaction to his story part 2.
Okay, guys, I'm back to watching his story.
The note and shoved past him thinking he was some drunk. But when I tapped my transit card, I saw a woman in the third row wearing bright red plastic devil horns, and my grip tightened on the pole. I sat a few aisles behind her, and the man was pressed flat against the outside window, pointing at her with both hands, mouthing the word devil over and over. I opened the window to ask him what he was talking about, but the bus started moving, and as the man got smaller, I saw tears streaming down his face. I subtly leaned down the aisle to look at the woman, and her eyes were already locked with mine through the crack in the headrest.
I think
her
she
hands
loves you,
were
bro.
gripping something so tight in her purse that her knuckles were white. I texted 911 with shaking thumbs, and the reply came fast. Can you see a weapon? So I crept 2 aisles up and peered between the seats, and in her bag was the outline of something metal. Her eyes were locked with mine, and when they dropped to the phone in my hand, she grinned. I'm going to kill us all. I typed yes, and the second I hit send, she was out of her seat with her arm around the driver's neck. The bus
hell no.
left and right, and everyone
The bus
was
is
screaming.
twerking.
My phone buzzed against my palm. Officers at the next stop. Stay in
Okay,
your seat.
yeah, now
But when
I
she dug into the bag, I knew I couldn't sit still. I dove up the aisle and wrapped both arms around hers, pinning the purse shut against her chest while she thrashed and howled in my ear. The driver stood on the brakes. The bus screeched into the stop, and the jolt ripped her out of my arms and threw me into the seats. She grabbed the weapon from her purse and turned toward the passengers. Bang! An officer stood in the open doors with his gun raised, and she crumpled against the window, grabbing her wound. My neighbor Karen stalked over to my 8-year-old son's lemon. The coolest kid in school asked me if I wanted to go train.
How you be cool with that face? What is that face, bro?
Surfing. And right as I was about to say yes, my best friend Sam stopped me. Are you insane? That's dangerous. But I pointed at the matching safety watches he made us both wear. You won't even let me ride a bike without one of these. You're too safe and boring. I just want to have fun. Drew was already climbing toward the tracks and screamed, "Are you in or out?" I shook Sam off, but Sam whispered, "He only cares about himself. You'll see." I didn't understand what he meant until later that day. Moments later, we sprinted alongside a moving train, and I grabbed the ladder, my fingers shaking with every rung as I pulled myself to the top. The wind ripped past my face, and I'd never felt so alive. Drew was howling with laughter, and
alive? You can feel more alive.
How did you not feel more alive? You're literally alive, unless you're a dead zombie.
You don't feel more dead than that.
For a second, Sam's warning felt stupid, but then we heard sirens. Cops saw us and were chasing the train, screaming at us to get down. My heart pounded because this wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. The train lurched faster and I dropped flat, my
Seriously.
knuckles white against the cold metal roof, my heart slamming so
Nah. Bro, why is RTY so zesty?
No much. I need to hear that scream again.
dropped flat, my knuckles white against the cold metal roof, my heart slamming so hard
That's actually crazy. Nah, man. I know.
One more time, actually.
It was terrifying. The train lurched faster, and I dropped flat, my knuckles white against the cold metal roof, my heart slamming so hard my safety watch buzzed, flashing 180. I couldn't move. "Drew, I can't move. Help me." But Drew was already swinging down the ladder to jump. He looked back at me and smirked. "I'm not helping you. Not my fault you're a puss-puss." Then he leapt off the train and rolled into the grass.
Puss-puss.
He called him a puss-puss.
Sprinting away, and right then, it hit me. He only cared about himself, and I was either going to die or get arrested. I reached for the ladder, but my sweaty grip slipped. I fell off, and everything went black. When I woke up, I realized I was in a ditch far outside the city, my body broken and bleeding. The train was long gone. I was completely alone, and no one knew where I was. I thought I was going to die, but then I heard footsteps running towards me. It was Sam, out of breath. "I thought you were dead. What the hell happened?" I almost cried of relief, but I was confused. "How did you even find me? I'm so far away." Sam pointed at my watch. "Your watch showed your heart rate spike to 180, and then flatline movement. I tracked your location and came as fast as I could. I was in shock. The watch I made fun of was the one that saved my life. When I finally arrived at the hospital,
I need myself
I told
a
Sam,
watch.
"You were right. Drew only cared about himself. What happened to him anyway?" Sam laughed. "He's cooked. The cops arrested him when he jumped off the train. We dabbed each other up, and I never called him boring again." The coolest... I climbed up to my treehouse for the 3rd time that week, and my Charizard was gone.
Charizard?
Just 3 times that week. Are you just inside, kid? 3 times a week, bro.
Again.
Mostly stay out.
The card binder was open on the floor exactly how I'd left it, except the slot in the middle was empty. My mom didn't even look up from her laptop when I came inside. Honey, just lock the trap door next time. But I'd locked it the last 3 times, and they kept finding a way in. I went to my room, closed the door, and started thinking about how Kevin McAllister would handle this. I grabbed a bag of flour from the
Who's
pantry
Kevin
and a bottle of
McAllister?
maple syrup off the counter. I
What are those two gonna do?
dumped half my sister's craft drawer of pink glitter into the
What
syrup
is that
bottle
gonna
and
do?
shook it until the inside looked like a snow globe. Up in the treehouse,
That
I
looks like
rigged
a
a
snow
flour
globe.
bucket and a syrup
Those are gonna do something
bucket
good.
above the trap door
Yeah, I
with a
know.
string set to tip them when the door swung open. Then I pulled my second best card, a holographic Blastoise, out of my binder
What's
and
a
laid it in the
Blastoise?
middle of the treehouse floor where anyone climbing up would see it. I climbed back down, walked across the yard, and waited.
They go from somewhere else. Usually said, but they keep finding a way in.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Behind the oak tree. 20 minutes later, I heard the back gate creak open and 2 voices coming up my driveway. The taller one started up the ladder first. He poked his head through the trap door and froze. Dude, his holographic Blastoise is just sitting there. The other one shoved past him to climb up. I heard the trap door slam open against the floor. A cloud of white flour exploded out of the treehouse window. Both of them came stumbling onto the platform, laughing. Bro, that's it? That's all he had? They were still wiping flour off their faces when the second bucket tipped and the syrup glitter dumped down on top of them. They froze. The taller one wiped at his shirt, and a streak of pink glitter spread across his whole chest. He wiped it again, and it spread further. They scrambled down the ladder and ran straight out of my backyard with glitter falling off them in trails, all the way down the main road through the neighborhood.
Damn!
I climbed up to my
Did they
treehouse,
fart
picked
out?
my Charizard up off the grass below, where one of them had dropped it, and slid it back into my binder. They couldn't tell their parents what happened without admitting where they'd been. I climbed up to my treehouse I was on the school bus heading home when the bus driver suddenly grabbed his chest.
Damn,
and let
why
out
the
a
bus
painful grunt.
trapper? The bus
heart attack. Calling it
a seizure. I'm
he's
calling
gonna
a
have
seizure.
Heart attack.
He's gonna.
He slumped forward over the controls, and the bus powered off
He
under
had a
his weight.
seizure.
We stopped dead on the train tracks,
He
unable to
fainted
move.
or
I
something.
panicked and immediately ran to the front.
One kid he's gonna drive the bus.
Pressing
He's
my
gonna
finger
save everybody.
to his wrist.
Yeah,
He barely
he's a
has a
main
heartbeat.
character.
Suddenly a kid screamed, and when I looked down the tracks, I saw a train far off in the distance heading our direction. I knew this track was only for automated cargo trains, meaning it wouldn't be slowing down. We needed to get out. We tried to move the driver off the controls to start the bus. He's like 300 pounds. He won't move. I gripped my head in horror.
Fat ass.
The train
Hey,
got closer,
keep it
and then I
family
heard
friendly.
a bang behind me. Brian had punched through the back window and was screaming for everyone to get out. We climbed through, and the second my feet hit the gravel, I grabbed my chest, breathing again. We'd made it, but the train was closer now, and the driver was still slumped behind the wheel. We looked around at each other, and I screamed. We
So it's gonna just break the middle and make a pathway.
have to push. Brian shook his head. What if we're not fast enough and the train runs over us? But I threw my palms against the back of the bus and pushed. That's why everyone has to help so that doesn't happen. All my classmates started pushing the bus, all of us risking our lives. But the
Including
wheels
the
were jammed
300
against the
pound
rails and wouldn't roll. I screamed.
bus driver?
Everyone lift. All 20 of us got our hands under and lifted. My back screamed in pain, but the bus came off the ground an inch. Now every second person let go and start pushing. 10 kids let go, and the pain doubled across my back. They pushed, and the bus rolled off the rails. I let go and screamed. Now everyone push. My vision blurred. My veins popped. The train horn blared, but we shoved the bus clear and jumped back from the tracks. Right as the train drove by, I dropped to the grass, heaving. The bus driver was still slumped in his seat, but we'd risked our lives for him. He was alive. I was on the school bus heading home when a woman put her dollar into the hospital vending machine, but the candy bar she selected got caught on the coil and wouldn't
Fat ass. What you want?
Fetty
Candy bar?
Whopper.
I'll beg my mom for that candy bar. You want that Kit Kat?
dispense. She immediately started punching
Oh,
the
shut up,
glass, but the
RTY.
candy just
Fetty Whopper.
Just get it again. Waste another dollar. We don't care. Or get something else.
wouldn't fall. I went to the vending machine beside her and got my own snack cleanly, and when I looked over, the woman was now on her knees, reaching her arm up.
Damn!
Your arm is getting stuck inside.
And he's gonna help you.
Fat ass, bro.
Fatty Whopper.
You're wasting $1, okay? Who cares about that
For
damn
the dispenser
dollar?
slot, I asked, why don't you just use this vending machine? But she didn't even look up. I want this one. I thought, screw it, and put my own arm in the dispenser slot to help her. But
Oh
the
my
candy was
God,
too far
he's
away.
Never
also
mind, he's
stupid.
getting his hand stuck.
Got her a wire hanger, but after it still
Never
wasn't
mind, they're not getting their hands stuck.
long enough, I suggested we rock the vending machine back and forth.
That's
She
an
grabbed
awful
one side,
idea.
I grabbed the other, and we rattled as hard as we could. She kept repeating, I don't have much time, but the candy still wouldn't fall, and the woman started
It's
tearing
just a
up
piece
and
of
shook the
candy.
vending machine like she was angry at the world. I laughed because I couldn't understand why she wouldn't just use the other machine. Then she started trying to crack the glass with the wire hanger. A nurse walking by told her, ma'am, stop, or we'll have to call security and press charges. But she replied, I don't care, and kept trying to break the
she
glass.
don't care.
The nurse walked away, and suddenly, the woman drove her elbow through the glass. It shattered and cut her, but she didn't even flinch and pulled out the candy bar, mouthing, thank God. She just turned around and walked into a room 5 feet away. I saw her sit down next to a terminally ill boy. She unwrapped the candy bar and held it to his mouth. The boy took a tiny bite and smiled. He finished the candy bar, and his monitors flatlined. When she walked out of the room, I told I was sorry for her loss, and she instantly hugged me. That was my son's favorite candy bar. Thank you for helping him enjoy his last few minutes alive. I realized what seemed like a joke to me was her granting her dying child his last wish. A woman put her dollar into the hospital vending machine.
My brother's coming. I have to stay quiet. What? It's so intense.
Nah, bro ended the video because his brother came. Okay, but seriously, I'm ending the video. Bye.